This is Ag Matters PM from the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network, brought to you by the Iowa Soybean Association, your daily recap of the information that affects Iowa's farmers, producers, and consumers, right here in the heart of the heartland. With reports from our award-winning broadcast team of Dustin Hoffman, Riley Smith, and Mark Magnuson. Now, from the IARN studios in Des Moines, here's Riley Smith.
Good day and welcome to Ag Matters PM from the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network. I'm Riley Smith. Today is Thursday, November 14th of 2024. We're here at the National Association of Farm Broadcasting Convention in Kansas City. Just recently wrapped up Trade Talk, and we're so glad you can join us for today's show. In today's episode, I talked with Aaron Robinson of Benson Hill about some of the newest things that they are excited for, including some innovations to their chicken feed product and how that endeavor is going. But before we get into any of that, let's take a look at a word from our sponsor, the Iowa Soybean Association, in the Soy Checkoff.
Iowa Soybean Association is driven to deliver for Iowa's 40,000 soybean farmers. We're proud to provide objective agronomic research, a helping hand with soil and water stewardship, and timely industry news powered by the Soybean Checkoff. Learn more at iasoybeans.com.
Welcome back to Ag Matters PM on the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network. I'm Riley Smith. The folks at Benson Hill are excited for a lot of things moving into the future, digging back into their roots and uncovering some parts of their portfolio that have not been used for a while. Talked with Aaron Robinson of Benson Hill about some of those things that they are bringing back to the front of their operations, including their focus on high-protein chicken feed. The Vice President of Product Management with Benson Hill, Aaron Robinson. Aaron, thanks so much for taking the time to visit today. First off, wrapping up harvest across much of the country. What have you guys heard so far from just results of this crop season?
Yeah, we've had a really good result from the harvest. Our newest products are performing as we would expect them to perform. You know, we've expanded the portfolio pretty significantly year over year, adding additional products in all 6 of our categories. Probably most excited about our UHPLO performance and those new products and kind of the refresh of the portfolio in our food grade portfolio, some of those export markets. You know, there's a long history with the Benson Hill genetics in those markets. Probably has not been the focus over the last few years, but we've kind of reawakened that part of our portfolio, and we're seeing really good performance.
I think there's been a lot of diversification recently in a lot of ag companies, and it's very interesting to see. And I had stopped by at Farm Progress to talk about the poultry feed side of things, a very interesting conversation, but one that I think makes a lot of sense for Benson Hill. How has that continued to progress for that side of things? Yeah,
we're getting ready to wrap up our 3rd broiler feeding study. Continue to see positive results in building on the first couple. And we're seeing not only improvements in the ration itself, bird performance. We're seeing improvements in overall bird weight, bird health, as well as a reduction in feed conversion ratio. So really positive indications. I would say that even that product, the UHPLO product, we're starting to see a renewed interest from the aquaculture market as well. So it's a really unique product that has fit across both broilers, turkeys, aquaculture. We've initiated a swine study as well. So really exciting results.
I had kind of mentioned this already, but let's talk too on how this kind of really fits in with what Benson Hill is doing already. And you mentioned as well, kind of bringing that back up from deep in the portfolio. Looking at those solutions, those new innovations, and picking something that really makes sense, I think is a great move.
Yeah, I think we're getting back to our roots as a soybean seed technology company. We're having a lot of conversations, not only with end markets to create demand for these specialized products, but also other seed companies, potential licensees of these genetics, as well as building out our distribution network. So I think we're positioned uniquely in the marketplace in terms of what we're focused on is really creating incremental demand, but also incremental value through our ultra high protein, our quality oils, being able to really focus across both feed, food, and fuel as that market continues to evolve.
So then kind of looking into the future a little bit, and I know that kind of takes a crystal ball sometimes, but looking at that poultry feed, you mentioned starting that study on swine as well, and even the seed technology. what are some of the things that you guys are really looking forward to in the next few years?
Yeah, I would say continuing to build out that feed opportunity. I think we still have a really strong portfolio in the food application space as well. I'm looking for that to rebound and really drive demand. We're starting to see some emergence in the dairy space, even for our Coval product, which has that lower oligosaccharide, but it also has that high oleic oil that over the last several years, there's been a lot of third-party work done on inclusion of high oleic in a dairy ration to increase quality of milk and overall body condition. So, we're really a diverse kind of portfolio that can hit different end markets, and so we're spending a lot of time making sure that people are aware of the technology and what the fit is to create a market and demand for our customers.
Aaron, lots of great information today. Is there anything else our viewers and listeners should know about before we wrap up?
We are contracting acres for the 2025 crop. You can go to bensonhill.com and learn about the different portfolio categories that we have. You can learn about some of the end markets that are buying these products, even learn about the premiums that are being paid, and we can connect you with your local sales rep or local seed dealer or our customer service team.
Aaron, great to visit with you today, and thanks for taking the time to visit.
Yeah, I really appreciate the time.
That again was Aaron Robinson of Benson Hill. Let's go ahead and take a look at the closing markets.
It's time now for the Ag Matters PM Closing Market Summary, your source for market analysis and settlement prices from the day's trade in Chicago, courtesy of the folks at agmarket.net.
At the end of another trading day in the Ag Marketplace, we're here with Tyler Schau of agmarket.net to take a look at the closings. Tyler, first off, what do we see going on in the grains today?
It was a pretty ugly day in the grains. Beans continuing their downtrend. That's really been going on all week. Now down about 50 cents, from the highs posted Monday morning or early Monday morning, late Sunday night. And the rest of them followed. Wheat managed to fall off another 10 cents in the December Chicago contract again. Same with wheat. We're down about almost 50 cents in 4 trading days this week. So just kind of another ugly day for the grains.
So when we're looking at this, is it a little bit of a proactive reaction to some of the issues that are facing the marketplace right now, or is there something else kind of adding a little extra pressure?
I think there's fundamental reasons for it. We've got good rains that have occurred really anywhere where any of these crops are in the growing season right now. So in the southern plains of the U.S. and the hard red wheat belt had good rains over the last few weeks. Got more in the forecast over the next few weeks, and then that crop's going to go into dormancy before too long, and then it really doesn't matter for the most part, at least until we get back into that March time frame next spring. So that's going into dormancy, probably likely in very good condition or decent condition, I should say. Decent rains in South America. And really, for all the talk that we had just a month ago about how dry it was, they've caught up relatively quickly and are back actually in a lot of places above normal rainfall so far for their growing season. So not a lot of concern there. You've got the U.S. dollar that's just ripping higher and just keeps taking out long-term highs that we've seen in that market over the last few years. And, anytime dollar pushes higher, it just makes our exports more expensive to the rest of the world and just makes us less competitive on that world market.
And then looking at the livestock side of things, Tyler, how did cattle and hogs trade today?
Cattle was a lot of back and forth trading. The November feeder cattle actually closed up $1. Some of your back month futures contracts were down about 80 to 90 cents. The November feeder cattle contract comes off the board a week from today, next Thursday, and it's tied to the cash market. The cash market's still been strong on the feeder cattle side. Calves are bringing really good money in sale barns, really all across the northern plains down into Oklahoma and Kansas. So that's been propping that November contract up, but your fat cattle came under some pressure today, down about $1 in the D's. Hogs came under some pressure, down $2 in February. There's concern that you've got a large, long fund position in the livestock, especially in fat cattle and in hogs. And there's concern if they start to weaken, if some of those long positions get in weak hands, you could see a cascading effect pushing this thing lower.
And then, of course, we're looking at the demand side of things as well. A lot of that holiday demand been factored in at this point. Are we getting really towards that pretty quiet period for demand at this point?
It is. We are starting to see the box beef numbers slip a little. They've been on a really good run for the early part of the fall, or I mean, I should say early, the last part of fall. They've been on a pretty good run here lately. Started to see them weaken a little bit a couple weeks ago. Are starting to see a little bit of troubles prop up in the cash market on fat cattle as well. So all of that playing a role, and just yeah, just the other thing to think about with the increasing dollar there again makes our exports more expensive, but it also makes our imports of foreign beef uh, cheaper. So kind of got that pressure on that side as well.
All right, Tyler, lots of great information today. For those of our listeners and viewers who would like to get in touch with agmarket.net, how can they do that?
Look us up on the internet, agmarket.net. There's a contact page. You can look up, see if there's a broker in your area.
All right, Tyler, thanks again for the analysis as always, and we look forward to hearing more from the agmarket.net team soon.
You bet. Take care, Riley.
That again was Tyler Schau of agmarket.net. Let's take a look at how the numbers close through the market window at iowaagnet.com. December corn down 7.5 at $4.19 even. January soybeans down 20.25 at $9.87.5. December soybean meal down $4.60 at $2.87 even. Soybean oil down 74 cents at $44.44. Chicago wheat down 10.75 at $5.30.25. Kansas City hard red wheat down 7.75 at $5.33 even. Minneapolis spring wheat down 3.25 at the time of reporting at $5.67.75. December oats up 6.5 at $3.48.5. On the Merc, December live cattle down $1.07 at $182.95. November feeders up $1.15 at $247.62. Lean hogs down $1.77 at $80.10. December pork cutout went unchanged at $92.72. And November class 3 milk down 6 cents at $19.91. And that's been a check of the markets here on Ag Matters PM. And that also brings us to the end of today's episode. You can find all of our content on our website at iowaagnet.com. Also follow us on social media at Facebook, X, LinkedIn, and TikTok, and find our video content as well as previous episodes of AM PM on our YouTube channel. Don't forget as well to check out our free morning, midday, and closing market podcasts, as well as the Iowa Ag Matters podcast and Pod to Potential. Find those on your favorite podcasting service at Apple, Amazon, Spotify, or Podbean. From the National Association of Farm Broadcasters Convention in Kansas City, I'm Riley Smith. On behalf of the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network broadcasting crew, we thank you for joining us today. This has been Ag Matters PM.